Okay, friends, it's Ken Dunn here. I'm actually talking to you today from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm out here right now in one of the most amazing places in the world. You know, Halifax is an incredible city. It's on the eastern coast of Canada. It is a Canadian city. It's actually where I'm from, so I'm really excited about being home here for a couple days. Halifax is one of the largest, I think it's the #2 largest ice-free harbors in the world. It's an incredible city. It's known as the City of Trees. There are more trees in this city per capita than any other city in the world. So that means for the size, the geographic size of the city, there are more trees here than anywhere else. And of course, think about how oxygen is cleaned. You know that there has to be just the most sweet aroma of fresh air in Halifax. And of course, vis-a-vis the trees, the smog level is much lower. It is an incredible, vibrant city that's based on a maritime heritage, and it's unbelievable. And of course, just as important as that, I get a chance to spend my time out here away from all the rigmarole of the business, and that came at a good time, and be with the most important people in the world to me. That's my wife and kids. You know, Julie has been my absolute foundation in network marketing and in life. We've known each other now for coming on 20 years. We've been married since the 25th of September 1999, and to every man in the world, don't ever lose track of the day you were married. And it was the most incredible day of my life. She's been my rock, my foundation, but let me tell you, more important than that, she's probably one of the most amazing people I've ever met. She's incredibly intelligent, has an incredible degree and background, but more importantly than that, her love for people and understanding and respect for people is just second to anybody else in the world. And of course, I got the coolest kids on the planet. But hey, I'm here today to talk about the second law of building the business. As I've said in this series of videos, we're going to talk about best practices, but these are more than just best practices. These are the proverbial 9 laws to building a massive business. Traveled all over the world, met some of the greatest leaders in MLM. I've definitely witnessed and had a chance to get to understand the business building processes of the largest network marketing communities on the planet. And just recently, I decided to put together a series of 9 videos that are the same videos, or same 9 steps made out in these videos that all of the world's greatest leaders use in building their businesses. And like I said in my first video, maybe they're the same because it all stems from Dexter Yeager, one of the greatest networkers in the world in the Amway business. But now these 9 principles transcend network marketing. And in the first video, we went into the consultation process and why it's important, and why anybody who avoids using the consultation process directly will inevitably destroy their own business. And if you didn't figure it out by my edification of Halifax and my incredible wife, then let me just tell you straight. Video 2 is the art of edification. Now, edification by definition, I just happen to be looking at the computer here, is the art of edifying. So then when we go to looking at the definition of edifying, it says to instruct, especially so as to encourage intellectual, moral, and spiritual improvement. And in other definitions, it says to build up, to make better reference to. Edification is the actual art of bragging up somebody or something else, if I were to put it in layman's terms. Edification is talking from your heart about somebody or someone that you care about. But listen, the reason edification is the #2 topic, or the art of edification is the #2 topic on this golden rules list about building a network marketing business, is very simple. Our business is about empowering people. It's about empowering leaders and empowering downlines and building belief in what we're doing, building belief in the company that we're a part of, building belief in the products that we're a part of, building belief in the leadership that we've partnered with. And the biggest way to help somebody to build belief in anything or anybody is actually talking about them in a great way. And that's exactly what I just did. I edified Halifax. I talked about why it's an amazing city. I edified my wife, not just because she's the love of my life, but because she's a brilliant woman and a very smart person. But what I've realized in network marketing, especially in the largest communities in the world, is they all teach and preach and practice, more importantly, the actual art of edification. Now, when you hear the word edification, there's a couple things that come to mind right away. Edification is what you say about somebody when you're introducing them. That's probably the most common use of the word edification, or edifying. So let's touch on that first. In our business, we often, in the recruiting process and business building process, introduce people in our upline to people that we're prospecting so that the upline can help us to close the prospect. What we're really doing in that process is qualifying the upline as an expert on the subject. And the most important part of doing that is creating that understanding in the mind of the prospect. The reason edifying a person properly at the beginning of a meeting or an introduction is crucial is that if the words come from you, then they're seen as complimentary words to the prospect. And you then set the stage so that the upline can talk to your prospect as a witness. I hope that's making sense to you. It's crucial that you properly edify people during introductions or during any setting where you're hoping that an upline, a company owner, a founder, an executive is going to help you with your prospect. Because if you don't do that, then the person that you're introducing is going to feel the need to do it themselves in order to establish themselves as an expert. And when you take the time to edify somebody properly, and it comes from you, it actually looks amazing. It looks complimentary. And it touches people at different levels. If you're the person that's introducing the upline to the prospect and you edify the upline properly, a lot of times it's somebody you have a personal or a social relationship with, well, it's going to make the upline feel amazing. It's going to make the person you're introducing feel incredible. And if you do that right at the onset of a meeting, you can understand that the prospect, the person that you're introducing, is a human being also. And if you start the meeting by letting that person know that you care that much about them, that you know those details, and you edified them properly, then you're basically lock and loading the weapon. You're putting the upline into a position where they'll do better for you in the process. Now, let me give you a little subconscious idea to why great edification at the beginning of the meeting is important. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you take the time to edify the upline properly, your prospect is actually going to think subconsciously or maybe even consciously, wow, that guy, that Ken is an amazing guy. It's not just what he said about the upline, but imagine if he says that about me someday. Or if he says that about the upline, maybe he says it about everybody. So it just sets the tone. And then, of course, your edification can also do a good job to make the prospect feel important as well. So it's crucial that you edify somebody, you do it properly, and you do it with your heart. Now, I've been on many a conference call where somebody has started a call by saying, hey, John, remember I was telling you about Ken? Well, this is Ken on the phone right now. Ken, go ahead. You have to state the edification again when you're talking to them. Just make sure you do. Now, edification transcends actual introductions. And when we use edification as one of these 10 or 9 steps, you have to understand that it's a much deeper level than just the beginning of a meeting. First of all, before I get off that subject, let me make sure that we understand. When you introduce somebody at a meeting, it's important that you know some of the facts. So make sure that if you have to edify somebody, that you get with them first and ask them, how long have they been in network marketing? What are their greatest levels of success? What they did before. Find out about their family, their children, and give a proper introduction and fill in all of those details. Then do the same for your prospect. And that should happen everywhere you go. If you're not doing that level of edification in your business now, then start immediately. Because the new people that join your team are going to start to edify people the way they see you doing it. And creating a culture of proper edification is crucial. Now, let me tell you where edification transcends just getting started in a meeting. It actually helps to build belief in the business. If you take a look at, if I say to you, who is the greatest network marketer you know? Whoever comes to mind, I guarantee that one thing that they do all the time is edify everything around them. They talk amazing about people. They're always talking about how great the products are, how great the company is. They rarely ever, ever, ever say anything negative. You know, some people are just so good at this business that they do that subconsciously. It's their character. Myself, on the other hand, I've had to work day and night at it. But I've come to realize that edification isn't just about how you introduce somebody at a meeting. It's everything about the business. It's how you talk about your upline. It's when they're not there. It's how you talk about the owners when they're not there. It's about the products. It's edifying the systems, edifying the culture. Whenever you're talking to anybody, downline leaders, upline leaders, crossline people, if you create a habit of edification in everything you do, your business will explode. Now, let me tell you, as a closing note to this segment, the worst part of network marketing, or the absolute, no, I shouldn't say absolute. Art Jonak's face just jumped into my head. Art Jonak is one of the greatest leaders I've ever met in leadership, and he's somebody I'm blessed to call a mentor in my life. And he started coaching me years ago. Hope he sees this, because he's an amazing man. If you don't know him yet, check out artjonak.com. Oh, there's a little edification again. Art taught me years ago never to use absolutes. So let me just say this a different way. The polar opposite of edification, if it exists in your culture or in you, it could possibly be the kiss of death in a network marketing business. Of course, the opposite of edification would be de-edification. Believe it or not, I have seen a multitude of times in my network marketing career leaders building teams who speak negatively downline, who are frustrated about something happening in their company, or they don't like a promo, or they don't like a contest, and they actually speak it to their downlines. Recently, I even learned of an upline texting people in their downlines about what they didn't like about contests that were being run in a company. De-edification will destroy a business. De-edification is anytime you are talking negatively about anything at all to anybody downline, crossline, sideline, even upline. If you're an influencer and you are talking negatively at all to anybody, then those words will sink into the soul of somebody. And this is, you know what, this isn't a network marketing thing. This is a life thing. If you are running a corporation and you speak negatively, I know it's tough. I know you want to have an open, warm culture where you can speak openly around people. But if you're in group settings or you're with people and you start talking negatively or critically about things that don't have to do with that person directly, just for sake of conversation, or maybe it's your character, who you are, then you are inevitably going to create a negative vibe in your culture of your organization that will have significant detrimental impacts on the business, on the culture of the company.